Hey everyone, we're live right now at the Paste Studios in New York with James. Guys, thank you for being here, man. We very much appreciate it.
Pleasure to be in your amazing locker room.
Yeah, dude. We can check out some of these tapes afterwards. I don't know if you got a chance to poke around a little bit and see some of the John Coltrane and the Miles Davis and the Stones and the Who.
Are
and
they live sessions?
Yeah. Not live sessions that we recorded, obviously, but they're from all across, mostly in the U.S., but across some of them across the world, going back to 1953. It's the Newport Jazz Festival. There's a lot of the Bill Graham stuff at the Fillmore and the Fillmore East.
You better check our pockets when we leave this place.
And you're at the Fillmore pretty soon, right? You're going to play the Fillmore in Maryland on Sunday, I think, this upcoming Sunday.
I'll say yes to that.
That sounds true. Well, I'm the one with the internet and notes in front of me, so I'm going to say it emphatically later once I find that part of my notes. So thank you for doing this on show weekend. You've got a sold-out show at Pier 17 tomorrow, so congratulations on that. And we're about to hear 4 songs today. 3 of them are off of Living in Extraordinary Times, which is out right now on BMG. And we're going to hear a fan favorite as well. Go back into the catalog a little bit. Can you tell us what you're going to start out with?
We're going to start out with Coming Home, which is off the last record. It's obviously a very low-key version. We're doing low-key versions of the album. The album's really uplifting and technological. We work with Charlie Andrews, who did the Alt J albums. But this is probably more in the mood of the song. This is about being away from my son. This is like for anyone who loves what they do in their work, but has to be away from their family. It's called Coming Home, Part 2. I missed your 7th birthday, last kiss 5,000 miles away, FaceTime on Father's Day, 5,000 miles away, forever touring, Neverland, live like a rolling stone, my life's not in my hands. I hope you understand. I'll be coming home. I'll be coming home. I wanna hold your hands across this dock. My life is always leaving. Packed up, my bags are full of bones. Don't know when I'll arrive. I'm waiting to take 5. My feet are falling, my life is calling, somewhere away from here, waiting to arrive. Waiting to arrive. I wanna hold your hands across this dock. Missed you when you're small, missed you when you called, placing you on hold just for a while. How'd you get so tall? We were born to soar. Love you when I'm gone, love to endure. I'll be coming home. I'll be coming home. I wanna hold your hands across this dock. I'll be coming home. I'll be coming home. I'll be coming home. I'll be coming home. I wanna hold your hands across this dock. I'll be coming home. I'll be coming home. I'll be coming home. I'll be coming home across this universe of time and space. You shift my heart's tectonic plates.
Yeah. All right. That sounds great, guys. Thank you. So you mentioned a little bit about that. There's, I mean, obviously, there's going to be a different arrangement of songs from live to the studio album to these knockdown strip back sessions like this. Can you talk a little bit about the collaborations on the album, specifically in the context of the last song that you just played, and also the sort of expound on the arrangements that people hear on the record?
Well, the last song we actually had ready for the album before. But we knew something was missing, and so we went to our friend Brian Eno and said, Brian, what's wrong with this song? And he added these mad little squiggly keyboard lines, which you'll hear on the record. And then Charlie Andrews really put it together and made it work as a song, because it was defeating us. When we play all these different permutations, it's fantastic for us, because we have a violinist who plays guitar. We have a cellist who plays guitar, and they're actually, as Adrian was saying this morning, they're probably better at cello and violin than they are at guitar. They were in orchestras together when they were younger, and
it's not true.
We have a trumpet player, which is such an unusual thing in any band. And Mark plays every single instrument on the planet. I think, like when we last spoke, I think he's in the Guinness Book of Records if you look him up. So it gives us the opportunity to switch around and mess around.
Yeah.
And it's really nice doing these different versions, because this setup kind of gets the poignancy of the lyrics sometimes a little bit more than the electronic big brash versions.
Good. Well, dude, I'm enjoying it very much from where I'm sitting. I'm glad that you're having a good time playing it from where you're playing it from. And is this somewhat similar to what people are gonna hear at Pier 17, or is it a vastly different show that you're putting on?
Different.
Yeah.
Vastly different. Yeah, we like, if you play songs this delicate with a bar in the room, it doesn't work. It's too delicate. They're too fragile. Sometimes we try and play really fragile songs. If people are talking, we just stop. We just say, all right, we're not going to do this today.
Yeah.
And we move on to something else. We change the set every night. We change the set during the set. If we feel the room needs something else, or if we need something else. We don't believe in the theatre set. Like most bands seem to say that play the same songs every night. We have hundreds to choose from, and we switch it around every day.
Cool. And Mark, just the wild card, switching into whatever instrument he decides to play at any given time.
Absolutely. You should see him on the ukulele with a Tuvan flute in his mouth as well at the same time. And his Tuvan throat singing is second to none. He won the Tuvan throat singing championship in
Tuva?
98.
Against
in
Tuvans?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I have no idea if you guys are kidding or not. Did that happen? Yes. Good. Good for you.
Did you win it?
I'm going to choose to believe that did happen. I think that happened in 1988.
Actually,
well done, Mark.
It's a famous. There's actually a documentary on this. I think
The Genghis Blues, right?
Genghis
Blues. Yeah.
Blind guy in the deep south who was listening to Tuvan music, and he started learning Tuvan throat singing, and he went to Tuva and competed in the Tuvan throat singing competition, and he won, didn't he? He won. It's like bonkers.
And his name was Mark, and he's now since regained his sight.
Regained his sight
well done.
and changed colour as well.
He's
red now.
That first song sounded great. Thank you, guys. And we've got 3 more coming up today. Are we diving into more politically charged material next? Or where are we headed from here?
Where are we headed next? We're actually headed. We're not going to play you. Well, this is a fan favorite, but we just don't often play it. We didn't play at the beginning because I used to burst into tears whilst trying to sing it. But it's fitting. It was a friend of mine who died in New York, one of my closest friends. And she was really ill, and she kept it from a lot of people. And so I never got to say goodbye. And so this is and she was called Raven, which you'll hear in the lyric. That's one of her names. And this is a song about, it's strange when someone dies who you know really well and you dream of them and they are so present, and then you wake up and you remember that they've passed. And this is what this song is about. It's another happy little ditty. It's called All I'm Saying, and it's dedicated to Robert and Gabrielle. I'm dreaming of you. You are free of all the pain you kept from me. Your gaze is strong. I'm dreaming of you with those black brown eyes that seem to see right through me. Your wise half smile. I'm talking to no one, talking to no one but you. You have moved on. I'm talking to no one, talking to no one but you. Now the raven has gone. I'm missing you and your laugh that opened all the worlds to view. We never said goodbye. I'm dreaming of you in a multiverse of meaning, fractal shards from a distant star. I'm talking to no one, talking to no one but you. Now the raven has gone. Right away from our birth to the grave. It's hard to trust change. Right away from our birth to the grave. It's hard to trust change. All I'm saying, I'm missing you. I'm missing you and all the worlds you opened up to view. I love you. See you next time.
All right. Thanks, man. That's a beautiful song. Thanks for sharing it with us today. Yeah. Well, I would imagine that the meaning of it has evolved for you over time, but still clearly hits in with a similar intensity to how it did when you wrote it.
Yeah, it is. We don't play often. It's a special song.
Well, so I think thank you again for sharing that with us. We're shifting gears fairly dramatically next, I think, into some of you've never shied away from politically minded music and commentary on what's happening in this country in particular right now.
We're not actually playing you a political song. The album has 2 political songs on it, because I was writing it during the time of Trump coming to power. And the album's called Living in Extraordinary Times. And it's also a very positive record, because I think there's so many good medicines coming forward to Trump, who is the shadow personified.
That's a very elegant way to put that.
And so, the women's movement and the Me Too movement and the kids from Florida and the Extinction Crisis and Noah Harari and Esther Perel and all the kind of... and Elon Musk, God bless him. All the kind of positive things that are happening to balance some of these negative things that are going on in the culture, the kind of the nationalism that's going on around the world. We've got it in England in Brexit as well. But we're not going to touch on that now. We're going to sing you a love song from the album, which is a really uplifting, slightly more uplifting than the other ones anyway, love song. It's called Leviathan. Take my hand, 1, 2, 3. We will jump together through the skylight on the sea. Become one with me. Found a gap in the folds between the worlds, where I will wait for you. Love that's weathered has a shape beyond a new love. Fucking love. Before they drop the bomb, make sure we get enough. Fucking love. Fucking love. Before they drop the bomb, make sure we get enough. You blow my mind when we come together. A rent in time takes 2 of us to preach. You blow my mind into the whatever. How high is too high? Singularity. Let me know if you got free. Did your star map lead you home through the skylight on the sea? Trust outweighs beliefs. We're just guests within these skins of blood and bone. Right inside your starship, never twice the same trip. Hold me in a tight grip, healing for the lovesick. Right inside your starship, never
twice the same trip, don't wanna be alone. Written on my headstone, right inside your starship. Never twice the same trip, don't wanna be alone. Written on my headstone. You blow my mind when we come together. A rent in time takes two of us to breach. You blow my mind into the whatever. How high's too high? Singularity.
All right, thank you. How are you guys feeling? Are you having a good day today so far?
Yeah,
Good.
it's intense. You know,
Is
it's always
there-
intense doing these things because we're half making it up. We don't play in this configuration. So we were all looking. That pause in the middle was kind of accidental, but you know, that's improvisation for you.
Well, I think it sounded great. I think it all came together beautifully.
Yeah, we're very happy with it.
Do you get to hang out tonight and do New York tourist stuff, or is it work? Would you have stuff booked all day today, or
Not
what?
too bad actually. You know, I mean, I've lived here for periods of time, so I've got old friends here I'm seeing, but you know, but not touristy things. But maybe go and lie down in Central Park. Tour buses are a little bit bereft of green, and it's city to city, so it's fantastic to get by a tree.
Yeah.
Or, you know, a rock. So that's probably where I'll be anyway. I'm probably two of these guys that live in the wilds of Scotland. So.
And you're in California now, is that true?
California, I live in Topanga Canyon.
Oh, nice. Yeah, plenty of nature and sage and coyotes out there.
Yeah,
That's good.
Totally, it's fantastic. They come through every day, the coyotes.
So I want to talk a little bit about the fact that you live here now, and a lot of lyrically the album is about what's happening politically in this country. Even though we're not touching on that today in this session, but a lot of the album is that and has lyrical references to what's happening politically here. Sonically, I've heard you say that it's got. I think you said it way more elegantly than I would. So I'll quote you. It's through a kaleidoscope of Britishness is the sonics of the album, while lyrically sort of referencing what's happening here in the world. Politically, can you talk about some of the importance of filtering the sound through that British kaleidoscope and how it turned out, as opposed to if you had done as opposed to if you'd recorded this in Nashville or recorded it in Los Angeles? Was that shit? Did I ask you like 15 questions just now? I'm sorry. Okay, wait. Let me distill it more elegantly. Do you think that this album would have sounded how it did had you recorded in LA or Nashville, or would it just sound how it sounds regardless of the location?
About producers. I mean, the last three albums, a couple of things have happened. One, Mark, the guy who's in the Guinness Book of Records and the Tube and Throat singer, we turned him up. He's a very shy, retiring human being, and we never used to be able to hear him when we jammed. And we insisted on turning him up. So there's a lot more keyboard on both the last three albums. And Jimmy, our bass player, who used to play bass quite high up the neck, got dirty and sexy and started to put a... That's him. Very dirty and sexy. Go on.
Let's say something dirty and sexy.
Couldn't, not this time in the morning.
Just go.
You do that for me.
So the last few albums have had this kind of groove, basically, and a bit more keyboard. And then we worked with a guy called Benny Giles, who's great with rhythms, and Charlie Andrews, and they're both drummers and producers. And so there's a lot of rhythms on this record. We to the point where we actually there's another member of the band who isn't here today who plays some of the other rhythms, because there's a lot of drums on this record. If you play a song like Heads, that's a pretty political song with masses of percussion. And so I think it's who you work with more than anything else, or who we work with. And those two factors have changed our sound in the last three albums quite substantially.
Well, we appreciate
Dirty
you.
bass, lots of keyboards, and grooves, basically.
I would wear that T-shirt if you guys made one.
Dirty
James
bass,
and the,
grooves, and keyboard.
yeah. We appreciate you guys bringing this here with us today. I'm
I
sorry.
was going to say, but it, it does. The question is a good one, in the sense that if you take a bunch of achingly British English people like us, and then go and put us in an alien environment, then actually we might. That environment will affect us, just like being here today in this space affects how we play these songs. We're very. When you drive over the bridge into New York, into Manhattan, and you see that nonsense that is your city, you can't help but be affected by the size and the power of the place and the craziness of it. So that informs what you do. You can't. We're not in a bubble just separate from the world. So I personally, I'd love to record in New York or record in LA and see what happens when you take about as British a band as you can possibly find and stick them in an alien environment, and see what happens, regardless of production or whatever. It's like writing. Where do you write? How do you inform your writing process in an interesting way? Do you do what you're always used to doing, or do you try and fuck it up a bit and try and, so, yeah. But it's a much, it's a difficult thing for us to do, to record anywhere other than kind of the obvious places for us, which is Britain, because there's so many people involved and so much logistic involved. But it would be interesting. So if you, I don't know, if you've got a studio in your basement or something,
We got a guy. We're literally in one right now. There are a couple.
Maybe we're going to make our next
This is
record
what we're
here.
doing right now.
We've started work actually on our next record. We started writing, and thus far, those sessions of writing have taken place in quite disparate places across the UK. We're about to have a session at the end of this tour where we go and write once again actually in the Highlands of Scotland, and
Nice.
that always tells us something different. But we write a different song when we're there. It's interesting. So our environment does definitely affect us. It informs the creative process in some ways.
Well, I know a guy. I mean, we've got a guy, and our guy's behind the curtain right now. So the thing potentially there's a conversation to be had with Bob offline about what happens next. He knows all the guys in New York. If you decide to come here to do it and brave the logistics of what it means to record your next album here and see how it all turns out.
The lyrics were definitely informed by me living here. I think when you move to another country, and I became a citizen too, and you see the political system in contrast to your own, it flashes things up. There's a different background, so you can see things with a different perspective. And every democracy in the world gets bought out by the rich. That's the original Greek democracy. Aristotle wanted it to be a lottery because he said if it's a voting system, then the rich with their superior education and money will just buy it. And he's been proved fairly right ever since, I think, in time. But you can see democracies in different countries vary about how bought they are. And when you come to America and you realize it's a corpocracy and that all the politicians have been paid a fortune by these companies, you realize that ain't a democracy. Or the Supreme Court isn't an objective Supreme Court. It's a political...
Look what you've gone and done now. See?
Well, I feel like we're fairly on the same page here. I haven't looked at the comments section yet, but I would imagine the internet is probably on your side if they've tuned into this in the first place. So
I'm sure some people are saying, go back to where you came from. Which, is the usual riposte to a person with an English voice. But I am actually an American citizen, and I have a... And anyway, even if I wasn't, anyone has a right to comment upon what they see. That's democracy for you, isn't it? But
dude, the canyons in LA are as American as it gets. So,
but Aristotle's right. Every democracy gets bought out by the wealthy. That's just how it is, and you need to have so many laws in place to stop that happening. And in some countries, they've succeeded more than in others.
We did a show the other night, and we were singing one of our songs off this latest record. It's called Many Faces, and we were all en masse singing. What is it? There's only one human race. Everybody belongs here. And you can see there's a few people out there going, I don't believe that. In the audience, you're like, right, because where we come from, everybody believes that, basically. Yeah. And then you understand that here, actually, that might not be the case. And, it's quite interesting. It's a little bit challenging. It should be challenging anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck it, we're too old to not be challenging,
And we're very happy to use this platform to amplify voices of people who are asking those questions about inclusion and exclusion, because it's important. I mean, there is a very specific political level to it, but there's a very human level to it also. And people's lives are not great when they get excluded from this thing. And regardless of where you land on it politically, it sucks for real humans' lives who are in the middle of it, living it.
Well, it felt like there was a historical move forward to expanded consciousness of, slavery getting repealed, women's votes, gay marriage. It's like an inclusivity, a kind of a looking at other people and going, oh, they're just another version of me. And then there's been a kickback just recently, obviously in a few countries, which tends to happen after financial crisis. That's historically speaking. There tends to be a resurgence of nationalism. And that's going on right now too. But hopefully it's only a temporary blip.
Yeah. Well, cheers to the swing back towards
Cheers to the swing back.
sanity. The first three have been outstanding. Thank you guys again for your time doing this. Can you tell us what you're going to play?
Do a crap one at the end just to round it off.
If you thought the other ones were uplifting, this one's called Broken by the Hurt and starts with the line suicide or cancer. So, it's for everybody, this song. It's, it's
Perfect.
We write, it's quite funny. It's like, accidentally we've written songs for funerals. People write to us all the time saying we played this at the funeral. We've written songs that people play at weddings too, but we also seem to have written some songs for funerals. This one didn't make it on the album, and we've done this kind of acoustic version. We've been playing this live, and this is, we really like this version better than the one we recorded. And it's about how some people get broken by the hurt and some people get broken open by the hurt. And you have the potential to be open by the hurt, whatever it is, because we all get hurt at some point. Suicide or cancer, loss of child, self-deceit. Can we start again? Suicide or cancer, loss of child, betrayal, deceit. How'd you not get bitter when life kicks you in the teeth? We must all get battered, lose our trust and self-belief. I'm the we're gonna mess up the last one.
We're not live, are we?
Yes. Thank goodness for that. No.
I need to find the lyrics.
No, this is perfect. Starting it from the top is I meant to say that beforehand. Starting from the top is definitely the way to go, as opposed to just going through it because it's live. It's this is the right call right now. We got a printer too, if you want. Tim, let us know if we need it.
It's more about the emotion of the song. It's getting the balance between getting the emotion of the song and being able to stay present. And I keep losing it. Sorry, that's the way it goes. All right. Okay, here we go.
Yeah?
Yeah, thanks.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
And if we fuck up again, it's cool.
Suicide or cancer, loss of child, betrayal, defeat. How'd you not get bitter when life kicks you in the teeth? We must all get battered, lose our trust and self-belief, find what really matters. We're made of clay, left long in the flame. Fire makes us brittle, yet gives us our shape. And all that remains is two fragile flames Dancing like Jesus, don't come without pain. See you later. See you later. Some of us born money, some never make it to our feet. Some born lucky, some born hopeless, 'cause we're made of clay, left long in the flame. Fire makes us brittle, yet gives us our shape. And all that remains is two fragile flames, dancing like Jesus, don't come without pain. See you later. See you later.
That one felt great. That one sounded great. They all did. Thank you very much for coming and playing 4 songs today. 3 of them were off of Living in Extraordinary Times. It's out right now on BMG. You've got a number of dates coming up right now. You're going to be at Pier 17 in New York tomorrow. You're at Franklin Music Hall in Philly on Saturday night. I was right. You are at the Fillmore in Silver Spring, Maryland on Sunday. The North American dates wrap on August 2nd at the Greek in LA, and then you're off to Western Europe. The European festival dates start in August and wrap in
we're
September.
playing with the wonderful Psychedelic Furs and doing a co-headline, and it's just a joy to play with them too. They're a fantastic band.
Outstanding. Well, travel safe, please, between all of those tour dates and enjoy all of them. And tell the Psychedelic Furs guys about us. Have them come by here whenever they're around. Tell them we're a total pleasure to be around. I will tell everybody else that you guys are a total pleasure to be around, and we'll help each other out that way. And guys, sincerely, thank you for coming by and doing this.
Thank you so much. Real pleasure. Thank you.